Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
You said that I shouldn't be teaching pride at school. First of all, what does that even mean, teaching pride? One does not teach pride. Second, I'm my GSA sponsor, Gay Straight Alliance, basically the gay club sponsor at school. You also commented that I should respect people's opinions. Sure, when that opinion does not immediately invalidate someone's entire existence just because their religion tells them to do that. That's not okay. That's not an opinion. That freedom of religion means you don't want to do that because of your religion. It doesn't mean I can't do it because of your religion. Does that make sense? I have a lot of queer kids that I'm going to support, and I'm going to celebrate Pride Month with them. Have a good night.
Still nobody wants me. Still nobody wants me.
Okay, look at this picture really quickly. So like, it's always been like super interesting to me, right? Because it looks weird to us, right? But I guarantee if it was a little black girl with, you know, the regular selection of white dolls, we would not think twice about it. That is how subtle white privilege is. And that is why representation is so important. Anyway, that just crossed my head, so I thought I'd share. Y'all have a good night.
I actually can't believe that I'm even saying this right now, but I just got out of a doctor's appointment and now I'm crying in my car because the first thing that my doctor said to me when she saw me was that I didn't recognize you because you gained so much weight. And so first of all, that's just like never okay to say to somebody. And second of all, then she pulls out my chart and goes in and says, oh, actually you've lost 7 pounds since I saw you a year ago. So that really made me feel like crap. I'm currently in medical school and we take classes on how to interact with patients and things that we should never say to patients, and that's definitely one of them. And it just sucks when I have a thyroid condition that makes me gain weight. I'm on medicine that makes me gain weight, and I work out with a personal trainer 4 days a week, and I'm doing everything in my power to lose weight, and then my doctor tells me that I got so fat that she can't even recognize me.
First, I get a video taken down for hate speech for, just stating a scientific fact. There's only 2 genders.
Oh, do you need homework? Sure. Well, first you're confusing gender with sex, but there's also not 2 sexes either. Start there. That's a perfect place to start. After finding out there's at least 36 different sexes, you'll still be left with this gender binary in your head, man-woman thing. So you'll have to dissect the social construct of gender. That's when you do this. There you go. Then you'll have to go into gender identity and gender expression. I gotcha. No problem. Then we can go there. And we could throw that on top too, right? Then this amazing thing's going to happen. You're going to be like, hold up. How long has this been going on? Well, it's when you go here, and then here, and then here.
Well, then I know more about white privilege than anyone. I was born and raised in Wyoming, which is 92% white. I was like 5 years old the first time I saw a black kid. So is this why I have all the privilege? Not really. I have white privilege the same as every person with white skin.
Non sono un bastardo, wood boy penso solo ai soldi. Arrivo in ritardo, anche se c'ho 2 orologi.
That's why I don't think anything. I've been like you around, you won't think.
So back when I was in middle school, I was taking a home ec course, and one day the teacher had us watch this documentary about how people in different countries could be more susceptible to different kind of long-term health conditions based on what they ate. And according to this documentary, because people in Russia and Eastern Europe tend to eat a lot of pickled foods, they were more susceptible to kidney stones, because if you eat a lot of like pickled stuff, the calcium can harden and stuff. And I came home from school that day to discover my father sitting in our living room, sitting Winnie the Pooh style with like a giant jar of Vlasic pickles, just eating one pickle after another. He must have had like 10 at once. And I said, Dad, you shouldn't eat all those pickles. We watched this documentary in home ec about how they can cause kidney stones. And my dad's like, son, you're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's a bunch of nonsense. A few days after that, my father started having really intense pains in his abdomen and he had to go to the doctor. He gets back from the doctor and we ask him, oh, what's wrong? It was kidney stones. Listen to the gay son. He knows.
Put a finger down, but if you have more than 3 fingers down by the end of this challenge, I'm jealous of you. Put a finger down if your pant size is a size 4 or lower. Put a finger down if you're naturally tan. Put a finger down if you have naturally big lips. Put a finger down if you're...
Don't talk to me.
Teenagers start off with marijuana, then they decide to see if heroin has any kick. It does.
Trans Education, and I'm here to explain its pronouns. Its pronouns are considered a form of neopronouns. People who use its pronouns often feel a disconnect from humanity. Because of their neurodivergency, they likely have a much different experience with humanity than everyone else. And oftentimes they are treated as a monster because of their neurodivergency. Its pronouns is just a way of reclaiming that. Instead of saying he went to the mall, you would say it went to the mall. She wants to be by herself would be, it wants to be by itself. Hope this helps!
Rating the coup couture of the white supremacists who just tried to overthrow the government. First up, Wyatt's fancy Pelosi with his boots on the table. This look has big first-grade field trip to the Capitol energy. You just know he picked up that phone and went beep beep boop boop. 0 out of 10. Quail Man Lady. This superhero look is bold. Nothing says my political views are totally rooted in fact, like wearing a cape and a bike helmet. 0 out of 10. Parkour Cat Burglar. The white supremacist answer to the little black dress is perfect when you're doing the absolute most. She really put people's lives at risk just to say, look what I can do. 0 out of 10. Kirkland Thor. That feeling when the invitation says elegant casual and you're like, what does that mean? So you show up to your clan meeting completely overdressed. 0 out of 10. And this Invisible Man. I would love to give him a rating, but I feel that would be unfair on account of none of us can actually see him.
Are you kidding me? Are you joking me, NYPD? Deep breaths. 300 BLM protesters did a peaceful march in New York City tonight on MLK Day. And NYPD came at them full force, ready to make arrests, brutalizing the marchers, arresting 35 people. What in the actual hell? I don't want to hear anybody tell me that white privilege doesn't exist, because the people at the Capitol got selfies, handshakes. One of the cops smoked a joint with them. But you get BLM together and they act like the world's gonna end. I better see that same energy on Inauguration Day when them white mother effers show up at the Capitol.
I'm honestly so tired of the online discourse around weight loss. It feels like you either have to...
I'm honestly so tired of people oversimplifying a very complex issue. Ryan starts by saying people who are overweight or obese have worse health outcomes, and that's just a scientific fact. When in fact, science tells us it's a lot more nuanced than that. This study in Progress in Cardiovascular Diseases found that patients with cardiovascular disease, specifically atrial fibrillation and heart failure, who are overweight or mildly obese, have better prognosis than patients who are underweight or normal weight. He then goes on to say that he has been having chest pain and acid reflux, and that his doctor told him that this was because he was overweight. Maybe your doctor's fat phobic. One study involving medical students found that they made lifestyle recommendations to 53% of obese patients versus just 13% of normal weight patients with the exact same symptoms. This demonstrates healthcare providers' propensity to attribute things like joint pain to weight instead of an underlying pathology.
Oh wait, white privilege doesn't exist.
First off, love, chapstick is for lips. You know what I'm saying? But it also seems like you Trumpansies are doubling down on your racism now that Trump will only be in office for 2 more months. You gotta get all the racism in that you can, baby. Let's be clear, love. White privilege is not a MasterCard that you get to use to steal things. Stealing things is still illegal for white people. Okay. No, baby, white privilege is that you got to scan that card 3 times without somebody coming over to you, asking you to leave or calling the police because you are using a fake card. It's been said in a response already to this video, but I'm going to say it again because I know you Trumpers are hard of hearing. But George Floyd was murdered because of a counterfeit $20 bill that turned out to be real. This is disgusting. Trumpers, do better.
Y'all, we're not even going to talk about how this school year is already shaping up to be some absolute foolishness. Shoot, this school year we might be singing started from the bottom, still here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team still here. We didn't keep it real from the jump. And not to mention how some of these kids ain't been in the inside of a classroom in a year and a half. They ain't been in class since March of 2020. That's gonna be a whole walking show in itself right there. Woosah, where the alcohol at? Woosah, where the apple crown at?